guys, so I want to answer a common question I get that's a really important question. What kind of mindfulness or meditation system or practice should I try? Who should I follow as a guru or a guide or a teacher? How do I get into walk on this path? And it's such a beautiful and important question, and everybody enters this path from a different angle and place. But there are some general guidelines that will help you navigate it more skillfully as you go to level you up faster. And the first piece of advice I'd give you is find a legitimate teacher or guide and study with them. At some point you're going to want to. It's a craving that we have as humans to be like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I want to follow somebody who knows what they're doing. And I want to learn their system and method and have them teach and guide me. Good teachers are great to help point out our blind spots or, give us a nudge in the right direction if they're skillful. But the most important thing a teacher will teach you is that the wisdom lies within. The teacher will help you, or the method will help you activate the wisdom function within, because you are learning to be your own master. If that teacher is a good teacher worth its salt, it's not going to be like one of the old naughty gurus that were like, oh, my method is the best, come follow my system, everybody else is wrong, and there's not a lot of accountability in their systems, and they're the naughty gurus that get in trouble with sex or money because nobody's checking them. So you want to find a good teacher that is steeped in wisdom, that knows their shit, that has sat on the mat and really done their work, and wants you to eventually be better than them, to outgrow them. If you see a Buddha on the road, kill it and move on. There's some wisdom to that teaching. And you also want a teacher who is doing this for some base dharmic level. It doesn't mean that they won't be charging, because that's what they do for a living and they're a householder and they live in this world. But someone that does it to kind of pay it forward, someone that's like, wow, this wisdom and a method of meditation or whatever it is was so valuable to me and gave me so many insights, led me to so many insights that I want to share this. That's the Dharma, it's the sharing, and sharing at a cost that people can afford it. And there's some great systems out there. Goenka system's a completely pay it forward donation based system. It's very strict, but delicious method of Vipassana. If you want to go away and get steeped and deep really quick. Shinzen Young does weekend sits, and they're super affordable and reasonable. He has a really easy, put into place, simple method that he's developed from his study of worldwide methods and studies of contemplative practices. And San Francisco Dharma Collective has some really good teachers like Michael Taft, and the women on there are amazing on San Francisco Dharma Collective. And they do a lot of free stuff. They offer a lot of free teaching. So you're going to want to find at some point a teacher, a guide, somebody who's more steeped in knowledge than you, so that you can soak that in and then move on. Always move on from your teacher. This is what Buddha did. He studied with the aesthetics. He studied with this kind of meditation teacher and guide, and he studied this kind of method. And then he said, okay, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to keep learning, until he finally sat his ass under a Bodhi tree and for himself came to this deep wisdom insight, a sensorial wisdom insight that he learned through his own practice and shared for all the other human beings on this earth. That's why he was a Buddha. So teachers, guides are good, but don't just limit your teachers and guides to like masters and gurus. Like, we learn from each other so much, your peers. As you walk this path, find other people that have studied different methods and styles, and the same ones as you and different ones as you, and start communicating with them. Creating community with them. We learn so much from our peers and from other people walking the path with us. And then just know, like, where are they at in the path? Don't get caught in your own bullshit or their bullshit. and resource with them and create community. That's a great way to grow and evolve. And a lot of methods, there are Zen practices, there are Vipassana practices, there are insight practices, metta loving kindness practices. There's so many different kinds of methods of insight and wisdom practices that will evoke and wake up that wisdom function in you, that it doesn't really matter whichever. Just find one that you enjoy, that interests you, that you feel, you know, like it's a juicy place for you to play, and then play in it and try that out, because any one of these methods will get you there in the end to, you know, quote unquote awakening or enlightenment or whatever you call it, starting that process of deep internal wisdom and growth. So it doesn't really matter which method you choose, as long as it's like a legitimate method. How do you know that? How do you know this is a legitimate method? You try it for a bit, and if your life changes, it's fucking working. If you're not making any changes and you're just spiritually bypassing things and it's not really getting you anywhere, then either you're not doing that system right, or that's not a great system, and find another one. And then play, I would say play in many systems and ranges. I have studied so many different types of beautiful methods of meditation and mindfulness and contemplative practices. There's a little bit of wisdom gems in all of them. You know, you're learning to create your own tapestry. So you may learn a little bit from Tantra, and you may learn a little bit from Vipassana, and you may learn a little bit from metta meditation. Like, trust your compass as you go. I love Osho. He says, trust and doubt. Trust you're on the right path, and doubt everything you hear, meaning run it against your own internal wisdom and compass and go, does this feel right? Which leads me to my last point. You're gonna find the most brilliant guides and teachers in the weirdest fucking places. And that's so beautiful. Like, look in the nooks and crannies and just find the people who speak to your heart and speak, you know, invoke, enliven, inspire you. And some component of your practice and teaching and wisdom must come from metta, love, kindness, compassion, giving back, paying it forward, dharma. Like, juice that part of your practice, because it is such a fucking fire starter. And in order to know thyself, we need to learn to love thyself. Like, I wrote those things on me to remind me, at like 2 wings. It's a deconstruction process, the know thyself. So you've got to have the love, kindness, compassion, metta, Tonglen, Ho'oponopono, so many different names for that kind of practice, but that compassion, that practice of heart wisdom. Yeah. Because it's such, again, a primer for this. You know, am I kinder? Am I more compassionate? Am I more insightful? If those things aren't happening, change your method, keep looking, move forward. You'll find it. It's out there. Have a great day.